Okay, thank you. We are ready to return to open session.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Baidoon.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education return to open session.
Support.
Okay. Was that you, Billy? No, sorry. Okay, it's been recommended by trustee Baidoon and supported by trustee Seba that the Crestwood Board of Education return to open session. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're back in open session. Next agenda item, MENA designation pilot.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I'd like to turn it over to Mrs. O'Hara, who will also invite a couple representatives from the Middle Eastern North African focus for piloting at the Crestwood schools.
And before you start, Andrea, I just wanted to apologize for us taking so much time to handle our business, but we're glad you're here and thanks for being patient with us.
We have Rose Wellman and Carmel Price here to present. You guys can come up to the podium. You have a copy of the presentation as well. The clicker is right there and it's being presented there. If you want to come in front or you want to move to the side.
Unfortunately, Dr. Price may have to leave, because she has
No, it's fine.
to pick up her son, but we'll just get started and see if we can make enough time. I think we're counting down the minutes. Thank you so much for inviting us to be here. Oh, I need the
Hello. Oh, okay. I'm famous now. Thank you so much for inviting us to be here. We love sharing this project with you. We think it's really important. So our aim in this is to help your school district count and better serve your diverse student population by providing an updated demographic tool to obtain race and ethnicity data. And this is a pilot project, so we hope you see that as such. And it's to obtain race and ethnicity data and to count, in particular, Middle Eastern and North African and Arab students, known as MENA, the MENA category. What we're hoping to do is the tool eventually will be adopted statewide, so this isn't just about your particular school district, but we're also doing this across other Wayne, RISA school districts, and hopefully eventually throughout the state of Michigan. But this is a pilot project to get that going. And we're gonna be, if we can switch to the next slide. Right, so we began this project because currently Middle Eastern and North African students are aggregated within the white category, and this erases their unique experiences and their unique identity. They come into all kinds of obstacles trying to fill out forms and things like that. They don't even know what to put, and it doesn't really reflect the student body that we have in many of our districts. And so we want to improve quality data. And you can see here that Crestwood District, this is from the National Center for Education Statistics, and it currently is that 86% white, 7% black, 3% Hispanic or Latino and other, and thus you can see that there's no representation of the MENA category in that, in those numbers. Let's go to the next slide. So we hope our potential outcomes for this might be, in addition to just knowing and representing the students and having them feel like they have a voice and there is self-identification, this is a self-identification process, improve quality of data collection, standardized data collection across the district or districts, overcome technology barriers to collecting data and match local data to state reporting requirements, and there are ways to do that. We've kind of sort of discussed with the admin people at Wayne RISA, and they have ways to deal with any administrative difficulties and IT difficulties. And this is for ESL, teacher and staff hiring, school funding opportunities in the future, things like cultural competency training. So to have some statistics to back up that kind of work. Next slide. This is a sample tool. This is not exactly what is on the table right now for Crestwood or the other districts we've been looking at. What we have been looking at is just a drop-down addition to the school enrollments that you already have that would just add a Middle Eastern and North African category. So pretty basic. It's not a huge revamping of anything. It's just to add that one category. And then our research team is myself, Rose Wallman. I'm actually an associate professor of anthropology now, and I'm the associate director of the Center for Arab American Studies at U of M Dearborn, and I'm an anthropologist. I did my research in Iran, but I'm currently doing fieldwork with Iraqis here in Michigan. We have Dr. Carmel Price, who's a professor of sociology, and we have Matthew Stifler, who is the research and content manager for the Arab American National Museum. So we have, and we also have a whole group of affiliates who do research on this, who are backing us up and helping to support this. So we also have an FAQ that we'd like to go over with you guys that we thought would be helpful.
Yeah, so the frequently asked questions document, it's not in the slideshow, but I think you should I think everybody has it. Yeah, it's on the next page. And the idea with this document is that it's really written in plain language and designed to be like a publicly facing document for parents who might have some questions about why we're doing this and might have some concerns here. So this is definitely a document that we're, in our mind, we're thinking translated into Arabic, and that the document really can be adjusted to meet your needs and to kind of meet some of the questions that you might anticipate experiencing from parents as you change the forms. And in a nutshell, I mean, the goal is just to update the outdated forms. Like if you go back and look at the recommended forms, you'll notice that, for example, like Caucasian is not recommended anymore. That's just really outdated. But yeah, it's still on our forms. And so we're not just updating the MENA category, we're updating all the categories so that they meet best practices. So some questions on here that I'm just going to highlight that I think we might get that are really important is that, this is a self-identification form, so nobody's going to be, there's not a checks and balances here. People get to self-identify however they feel comfortable. This data is not accessible by authorized school personnel with an education interest as prescribed by FERPA, so it's not going to be shared with immigration authorities, essentially, I think is really important to communicate. Some other questions that just might kind of come up here is, who's doing this and why, like who we are, and why this is happening. So that's what we put together for you, and if you have questions for us, we're happy to answer them.
Trustee Barry?
So I guess my question is, are you going to eventually have an identity on applications or anything where it will say Middle Eastern, or is that what the goal is?
Yeah, so the goal is when students first enroll, like kindergarten students,
Okay.
they first enroll, when they normally have to choose, the parents do this, they have to
Right.
choose an ethnicity in that drop box. They'll have an option to put Middle Eastern and North African. And if they elect to choose any other category, they can do that at that point. That's self-identification. But it could also take the form of the paper forms that are sent out as well when that does happen.
What I'm saying is that, is it eventually going to be nationally that it's done?
Yeah, it's a good question. That's what I was going to jump in and say is,
Right.
so this is really getting ahead of the change that's
Okay.
coming. So right now in the Census Bureau, there is not a MENA category. The other categories are pretty strong, but the MENA category is absent. And if you self-write in a MENA identity, you get reclassified as white. If you check other and self-write in, you get reclassified as white. That's what's happening on the Census Bureau. And what happens then is the census sets the national standards, and that trickles down to all kinds of all other forms at the local level. But we are part of our research team through Access in the Arab American National Museum is it's a nationwide research team, and we're in conversations with the Census Bureau and in conversations with the OMB. OMB is where the changes are going to originate, and they're doing a study session right now to try to make these changes, and we're participating in it. And so it's very likely that the next iteration of the census, this will be a national change, and so we're really just trying to support getting ahead of it. And having lots of conversations in these little pockets all across the country to try to get ahead of it. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. And my other question would be, so what are the benefits in the long run will there be additional funding or grants or anything like that because of these categories?
Yeah, so so like, for example, if you apply for funding right now and the funding is a minority, is for minority serving institutions, Crestwood does not qualify. And so, because you pull your data and you're 86% white, you're not a minority serving institution. And so you wouldn't qualify for that funding. And so sometimes, like, I write grants and we'll write a whole paragraph about how, I do a lot of research locally in Dearborn, write a whole paragraph about how Dearborn is a minority community. And some grant funders will accept that, and some grant funders will not accept that because they don't see it in the data. And so when these changes actually do come, then the MENA community can actually be counted as a minority, and it will change funding. Absolutely.
Yeah. Trustee Fawaz?
And I'm so sorry, I gotta go pick up my son from soccer.
That's
So
okay.
I'm so
Thank
sorry.
you. Thank you, and we appreciate your patience. Thanks.
So that was actually my question, was the funding. So from all the data and the research that you collect, would you be able to submit it to the government or state? And would we be able to use that data to actually get funding for having a larger minority than what they originally thought, using your data?
Right, so not immediately, but that's the long-term plan, is that by building this pilot study, we're showing people that there are people here that identify as MENA, and we help contribute to that research that is saying that MENA should be part of the US Census directly. And then it all comes back around, so when that is accepted as part of the US Census, then it's a minority, it's recognized as such, and we can apply for funding and things like that. And in the meantime, there are, like she was saying, some grants and funding agencies that will recognize a MENA minority in certain cases and certain granting institutions that you might be eligible for that you're not already.
Are there any immediate benefits that we would see?
The immediate benefit is that you would start the process, which takes a long time. So if you think about it, parents designate their children as a category. And it takes a while to incorporate all the students in a school, because it's going to take, say, K through 12 years. So you would be ahead of the curve knowing the numbers of your school by the time the next census came out. So yes, there would be an immediate benefit in that sense. Like, you would know the numbers in your school before any other school did, and you would start being eligible for funding and granting opportunities before other schools. But the other benefit is really just philosophical, I guess, to push this idea, starting here as a pilot, to bring it to other places.
Okay,
to
so
help
we
bring it
have
to
a
other
couple more
places.
questions. We have
Yeah.
Trustee Saba, then Trustee Baydoun, and then we're gonna let you go.
So your organization is funded by who?
We have absolutely no funding.
Okay. Well, I've
We
been
are
working.
just, yeah, we got a planning grant from the University of Michigan Dearborn 2 years ago, where we got $10,000 to just start talking about this issue. But we didn't go any further. We realized that all we really need to do is show up at school board meetings and talk to people.
Who's lobbying for this? Because we can classify it as
Oh.
MENA internally. It doesn't mean the data is gonna be recognized by the state or the federal government, because I've been on social and business chambers. We've been working on this for over 15+ years, trying to get this
Yeah.
done. And if you don't have the lobbying to do this, then this is all for naught.
So there is a lobby group. We are working with Access and the Arab American National Museum's research team, and they are working on this with the U.S. Census and the OMB office. So we are in meetings, like I've gone to 3 meetings with the U.S. Census representatives, where they are also advocating for this and talking about it and saying it might be a possibility. They can't say it definitely will. They have this study group going. You know, they're all very, they have to be careful exactly what they say, but there's a study group going, and we've heard positives that it will happen in that regard. So it's potential, but very likely. So I think they have a whole lobby organization that runs through Access and the Arab American Museum and all of that, and they're doing that.
We've
yeah.
met with many different Congress people about this, and
Yeah.
nonetheless, my second part of the question to you is, I see that you're, I don't want to call it a label, but I'll call it a label.
Yeah.
What you have here in the sample tool for Middle Eastern is you know, for example, Lebanese, Iranian, Egyptian, Syrian, Moroccan, Algerian, right? Again, there's a variance on the labeling for MENA.
Yeah.
I've seen it with Israel in it, I've seen it without Iran, I've seen
Yeah.
it with Iran, now I'm seeing it, I'm assuming, without Israel. I've seen it with Turkey, which is really a part of Europe as a part of the Middle East. Where are you getting the countries to label into MENA?
Yeah, that's a good question. Those countries that go below that designation are community-specific. So OMB and the U.S. Census has decided on a list of countries that they've tested that fit within the MENA category. And they've decided that through testing in different places and seeing what communities self-identify as MENA. That's where those countries come up. In every community, you'll have different examples. Those are just examples that the community can use to think, oh, I belong to this or not. So it would be different in different places.
Can you get us a list of what you're specifying? Because technically Iran's in Western Asia.
Well, it's when they test people who are Iranian, they consider themselves Middle Eastern. And they do tests of this. So they run demographic questionnaires. It's a whole study.
giving you a hard time.
No,
I'm
it's
just trying to get my
okay. I
mind
can
wrapped
show you
around
the
it, yeah.
research, or I can send you the link if you're interested in looking at the research. But people do research on this. I'm not one of those people. I just work here in Dearborn. But they do research on that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If you would share that, that'd be great.
Sure, yeah,
Andrea
I can
get
send
it to
those
us.
links.
And then we have a final question from trustee Baydun.
So, MENA's always been an affinity group, right? Everywhere, I mean, at work, I'm a part of MENA, it's always an affinity group. It's never been labeled and classified. But
Yeah.
if you want to look at the actual geography of where the Middle East falls, it's Asia, correct? So we're looking
Yeah.
to actually change where the line is, where Asia, Asia Pacific, however it's written on that sheet, and Middle East. Because Middle East isn't actually, it's more of a, how do you say, it's more of a, just an area as
Yeah.
opposed to, it's not Europe, right?
Yeah.
Asia is defined as Asia with lines on the map. Europe is defined, Middle East is a general area, correct?
Yes.
So how do you determine,
Because it asks you, what do you identify with?
Yeah,
In the
the-
study and the test, go ahead. You can
Yeah, no, you're absolutely
I'm
right.
sorry.
You know, you're correct. They test people, and the people themselves say what they feel like they identify with.
so it's up to you?
It's up to the people, and they do that on a
Actually,
vast
from a
scale,
different country,
right? They do
but
thousands
identify
of
with that,
people.
you can
Yeah,
check it.
I
Yeah.
get it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
But
your
I mean, no, I teach an anthropology of the Middle East class, so we do, like I was just telling Adria, we do a thing where we have students map out the Middle East, and then they decide where the boundaries are, because
Yeah.
is it geographic, cultural, religious? Is it your positionality that shapes how you see that category? So, like, who are you and where you're from? So,
I'm all set, thank you.
thank you.
Okay,
Any
thank
other
you very
questions?
much. We
Thank you.
appreciate you being here.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, next item.
Madam Chair?
Mr. Baydun?
I'd like to propose and motion for the sake of time to move the next two agenda items to the January open session, study session.
I'd be open to that. Is there a second for that? Do we need a second?
Not for study
We just
session.
agree?
No need.
Is that okay with everybody if we
No.
just take the next two items and table them to January? So we can start our school board meeting?
I'm okay with the project. I just want a quick update on transportation because it doesn't seem to be getting much better. Or am I wrong?
Well, Andrea, please chime in at any time. As per the memo that I sent the board last week, which was written by Andrea, Mrs. O'Hara, and Mr. Iwata, because they're dealing directly on it. I'd like the board and the community to know that we are in conversation with other transportation companies. I mean, this is not, these conversations have been ongoing. The conversations first started, can they fill our gaps? And every transportation company was like, no, we don't have enough drivers, we don't have enough buses, so on and so forth. We are also in continued conversation with Dean that this cannot continue, nor can it continue next year. And we have discussed with legal, our Troon, who are our legal advisors on this matter, what our choices are. So we have those choices, and we're continuing the conversations with Dean Transportation to see if they can continue to service us as needed. I would like the board to know that if we were to make a decision to move one way or another, it's not going to be an easy decision to make because of the fact that many of the transportation companies, actually all the transportation companies, are facing the same issues. This is not a dead subject. We haven't been sitting on our hands. We have one of our employees that is working the phones for Dean. Dean is paying that employee. We are not. We are getting reimbursed so that the person that was on the phone can drive a bus. So like we've been helping. But I do want to say that, you know, in our first proposal to the board to reduce the one run from Riverside Middle School, that would have resolved a lot of our issues we currently have.
Yeah.
This needs to come back on the table in the spring because we cannot guarantee next year that any transportation company, Dean or any other we go to, is going to guarantee us they have enough drivers. And by reducing that one run, that would save a lot of these cancellations. The other thing we have to keep in mind too, is that special education takes a priority over all other transportation, and we will not cancel a special education run.
Nobody wants you to.
Yeah, and I'm just, you know, just to let the community know. So we are working on it. I can guarantee you, Mrs. O'Hara and Mr. Awada, this has been something that they've been working on continuously, daily. And I will tell you, Mr. Awada and Mrs. O'Hara have done a really good job of getting Dean to respond when they need to respond. And I have spoken directly to Mr. Dean, the CEO and owner of Dean Transportation. So I would like the community and the board to know that this is not something that we're sitting on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're going to table our project update, and then Dr. Mosallam, I still want to keep transportation update on for January.
Sure.
So we can get an update from now till then.
Definitely.
And just, you know, maybe that'll even be a running thing.
Definitely.
Because we're gonna need updates for our community.
Yeah, we can put that, Kristen, put that as a running study session item, please.
Okay.
Thank
So can we adjourn our study session, and then we can start our regular board meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Trustee Fawaz?
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Okay. We have a motion from trustee Fawaz, supported by trustee Baidoon, to adjourn our meeting, our study session at 7:15 PM. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, study session is adjourned at 7:15.
Thank you.
Thanks, honey. Okay. Good evening and welcome to the Crestwood Board of Education School Board Meeting, December 12, 2022. I'm going to call the meeting to order at 7:16 PM. Madam Secretary, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Amon?
Here.
Mrs. Berry?
Here.
Mr. Baidoon?
Here.
Ms. Elzayat?
Here.
Ms. Fawaz?
Here.
Myself is here. Mr. Saba?
Here?
Madam Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Madam Secretary. The consent agenda?
Board of Education approval is recommended for the items listed on the consent agenda, which include the December 12th, 22 board agenda, the minutes from the executive session special meeting on Monday, November 21st, 2022, the minutes from the regular meeting on Monday, November 21st, 2022, the minutes from the executive session special meeting on Monday, December 5th, 2022, and the check register dated November 1st through November 30th, 2022.
Can I get support for the consent agenda, please?
Support.
Okay. It is moved by Secretary Janoon, supported by Trustee Baidoon, that the Board of Education approval is recommended for the items listed on the consent agenda, which include the December 12, 2022 Board Agenda, the minutes from the executive session special meeting on Monday, November 21st, 2022. The minutes from the regular meeting on Monday, November 21st, 2022. The minutes from the executive session special meeting on Monday, December 5th, 2022. And the check register dated November 1st through November 30th, 2022. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Business report?
Thank you. Number one, approval of requisitions. The attached list of requisitions are items that buildings or departments would like to purchase for their upcoming needs. The requisitions have gone through all the appropriate approval processes and have been approved by administration for purchase. In addition, there are funds available to make these purchases. Once requisitions are approved, they will be processed and purchase orders will be sent out.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Janu?
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the requisitions per attachment 4A1.
Can we get support for the motion?
Support.
Thank you. Recommended by trustee Janu, supported by trustee Amen, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the requisitions per attachment 4A1. Any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So for the bids, how many bids did we get for each of these? For instance, the award turf bid?
Those are items 3 and 4
Okay.
on the report. So they wouldn't be under, I can explain those when we get to those in 3 and 4, if you don't mind.
Okay, but aren't we not bidding, are we not voting on that now?
No, they're separated in item 3
Oh,
and
they're
item 4.
separated. Oh, it's amended.
Only
Okay.
we're only voting
Okay.
on what's on 4A1.
Okay.
Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item?
Thank you. Number 2, approval of confirming purchase orders. The attached confirming purchase order are items that needed to be processed prior to the board approval. The items are staff reimbursement, professional development, and miscellaneous supplies.
Can I get a motion for
Chair.
4A2?
I
Trustee
recommend-
Janu.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the confirming purchase orders per attachment 4A2.
Support.
Recommended action by trustee Janu, supported by trustee Amen, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the confirming purchase orders per attachment 4A2. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item?
Thank you. Number 3, award turf bid, AstroTurf Great Lakes. Crestwood Administration is recommending AstroTurf Great Lakes be awarded the turf installation contract. The installation of the turf and the padding on the athletic field will cost the district $573,564.68. The bid tabulation has been attached for you. Trustee Barry, to answer your question, for that project, there were 6 bids for the turf. We interviewed 4 of them and selected AstroTurf as the bid.
What was the reason we selected them?
Because the lowest bidding company was actually a small company and had not installed very many turf fields. And so the difference between the two was only $8,000 difference, so we went with the more experienced company.
So were they the second lowest, or were they the highest?
They were the second lowest.
Second lowest?
AstroTurf was the second lowest. And also then when you add in the alternatives, A-Turf, the lowest bid originally, because we added alternatives for the padding, they actually then came in higher with the padding.
Okay. Can anybody make a recommendation?
Madam Chair,
Mr. Baidoon?
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education award AstroTurf Great Lakes the turf project as outlined in the turf RFB. See attachment 4A3.
Can I get support for the motion?
Support.
Recommended action by trustee Baidoon, supported by trustee Amen, that the Crestwood Board of Education award AstroTurf Great Lakes the turf project as outlined in the turf RFB. See attachment 4A3. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Number 4, award track bid to Goddard Coatings Company. Crestwood Administration is recommending Goddard Coatings Company be awarded the track installation contract. The installation of the track will cost the district $265,000. The bid tabulation has been attached for your review.
Is there anyone who would like to make a recommended?
Madam Chair,
Trustee Amen.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education award Goddard Coatings Company the track project as outlined in the track RFB attachment 4A4.
Support.
Thank you. Recommended action by trustee Amen, supported by trustee Baydoun, that the Crestwood Board of Education award Goddard Coatings Company the track project as outlined in the track RFB. See attachment 4A4. Any discussion?
Yes, I have a question on that.
Trustee
Again, how
Berry?
many bids did we have for this?
There were 3 companies that bid on that. Goddard Coating was the lowest bid on that by about $50,000.
Thank you.
Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, that's all that I have for this evening.
Thank you. Personnel report, Dr. Lazar?
First item on the agenda this evening is for instructional appointments. Appointment of kindergarten teacher for Kinlock Elementary, Miss Rebecca Peedy. Miss Peedy received her Associates of Arts in Pre-Elementary Education program from Henry Ford College and went on to earn her Bachelor of Arts in Elementary Education from the University of Michigan Dearborn. She has worked as a lead teacher at the University of Michigan Dearborn Early Childhood Education Center for 7 years and is looking forward to bringing her core values and hard work ethic to our district. She comes to us from the University of Michigan Dearborn.
Trustee Janu?
Sorry. I have to read the second one. I apologize. That's okay. I just, yeah. Our second appointment in the instructional category this evening is the appointment of a 3rd grade teacher for Hillcrest Elementary, Miss Fatma Hazimi. Miss Hazimi earned her bachelor's degree in language arts from the University of Michigan Dearborn. She recently received her elementary education certificate from the University of Michigan Dearborn and completed her student teaching at Hillcrest and is excited to become part of the Hillcrest community.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Fawaz?
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of the candidates named in action items 5A1 and 5A2, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law.
Support.
Okay, recommended action by trustee Fawaz, supported by trustee Baydoun, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of the candidates named in action items 5A1 and 5A2, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next item.
Okay. The next items are for non-instructional appointments. The first is the appointment of an occupational therapist assistant for the Crestwood School District, Miss Lauren McAuliffe. Miss McAuliffe received her associate's degree of applied science and occupational therapy assistant from Baker College. She also received her bachelor's degree from Baker College. She has worked as a certified occupational therapist assistant for over a year. She's a quick learner and is very excited to become part of the Crestwood team. She comes to us from Futures Health Corps.
Trustee Janu?
You gotta read the next.
Oh, sorry. I did it again, didn't I? This is what, I couldn't fall asleep
This is
till
deja
2 in the
vu.
morning. This is what happens, right? The second one is the appointment of a school social worker from Riverside Middle School, Miss Maggie Alsala. Miss Alsala received her Bachelor of Social Work degree from Eastern Michigan University. She earned her Master of Social Work degree from Wayne State University. She has 8 years of experience as a school social worker and comes from the Dearborn Public Schools.
Madam Chair.
Trustee Janu?
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of the candidates named in action item 5B1 and 5B2, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law.
Support.
Recommended action by trustee Janoon, supported by trustee Fawaz, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of the candidates named in action item 5B1 and 5B2, effective pending acceptable criminal background check and other employment documentation as required by law. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
The next item is for the winter coaching appointments. We're asking for approval for the appointment of the winter 2022-2023 coaches as listed in your attachment.
Dr. Lazar, it says fall coaching
Sorry,
appointments.
it should be winter.
Oh, it should be winter? Okay? Thank you.
Madam Chair?
Trustee Amen.
I recommend the action that Crestwood Board of Education approve the hiring of winter coaches for the 2022-2023 school year for attachment 5C1.
Can I get support for the motion?
Support.
Recommended action by trustee Amen, supported by trustee Baydoun, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the letter of understanding with regard.
That's what I was trying to say, but
Okay, I can,
it's just worded wrong.
yes. So, recommended action by trustee Amen, supported by trustee Baydoun, to approve the winter coaching appointments. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item.
The next item is for the superintendent's contract, approval of superintendent's contract starting January 1st, 2023, ending August 30th, 2027.
Yeah, sorry, we were just trying to,
No?
there was our lines are not showing your lines, but we're good. All right, so now we're on, the superintendent's contract. Can I get a motion?
Madam Chair?
Trustee Amen?
I recommend that the Crestwood School Board of Education approve the superintendent's contract for a 4-year term beginning January 1st, 2023.
Oh. Can I get support to approve the superintendent's contract?
Support.
Okay. Recommended action by trustee Amen, supported by trustee Baydoun, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the superintendent's contract for a 4-year term beginning January 1, 2023. Madam Secretary, can I get a roll call for this?
Mr. Amon?
Yes.
Mrs. Berry?
No.
Mr. Baydoun?
Yes.
Ms. Elzayat?
Yes.
Ms. Fawaz?
No.
Myself, yes. Mr. Saba?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, please.
Next item is for superintendent's merit pay.
Can I get a recommendation, please?
Madam Chair,
Trustee Baydoun?
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the merit pay for the 2022 school year. Going off a whim, because I don't have it here.
Award of 8%.
8%.
Thank you.
Yep.
Support?
Support.
Thank you. Okay, recommended action by trustee Baydoun, supported by trustee Amen, that the Crestwood Board of Education approve and award 8% in merit pay per the current superintendent's contract. Madam Secretary, can I get a roll call on this?
Mr. Amon?
Yes.
Mrs. Berry?
Yes.
Mr. Baydoun?
Yes.
Ms. Elzayat?
Yes.
Ms. Fawaz?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mr. Saba?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Next item.
The next item is just an informational item of a change in classification for Rebecca Smith from media paraprofessional at Hillcrest to Highview Crestwood.
Thank you. Next item, superintendent's report.
Good evening, Madam President. Good evening, Community Board. Thank you. I have no action items, just a couple update informational items. First off, just as a reminder to the school district, district will be closed Monday, December 26, 2022 through Friday, January 6, 2023 for winter break. Please enjoy yourselves, have happy holidays and a happy new year. School will resume Monday, January 9th, 2023. As the board was updated in a memorandum, and a notice will be sent out to the community. A previous professional development date of February 6th has been changed. It is no longer February 6th, it is February 24th, 2023. A letter will be going out to the parents as well as a reminder. So students will have school on February 6th, but students will not have school on February 24th. That switch was because we were able to bring in a nationally, actually internationally renowned speaker, Dr. Anthony Muhammad, to come in and work with our staff on instruction, independence, diversity, as well as working with our staff on how to develop instruction for individual students. Again, he's an internationally renowned researcher and speaker, so we're excited to have him. Again, just going to continue to re-emphasize traffic safety. please be extra vigilant as the weather gets colder, and there could be ice on the road, slippery conditions, drive slow. Please stop at stop signs because you never know who's coming. You may miss something. Traffic safety is very key. I'd like to thank Zainab Jawad for bringing in author Iman Saleh. She visited our elementary schools with the help of food service students, and staff made their own Lebanese breakfast sandwiches. And it was based on a children's book that was written called The Great Lebanese Trade. And what Lebanese is, you may wonder, it's a yogurt, you could say, but it's a thicker, little different texture, and it's a very common food that children from Middle Eastern background eat. A funny story of that is I remember the first time my mother made me a Lebanese sandwich when I was in elementary school. I told her never make me another one because everybody made fun of me. I was one of the very few kids who came from that background in my school at that time, and that was a long time ago. That's what the whole story is about. Also, just some commentary real quick. Thank you to the board for approving my updated contract. Thank you for approving my merit pay. I appreciate it. And we will continue to serve this district to the best and the highest of our abilities, as this district will be first and foremost in the forefront for our success. I'd also like to thank Trustee Secretary Janoon for her service as a Board of Education member, but I know this won't be the last time we see you, so we'll see you in the district and at different meetings. So thank you, Trustee Janoon, for your service to the school district. And that is my commentary, Madam President.
Thank you. I'll open the floor now for public comment.
Javier, I'm just going to read this statement. You can come to the podium though. Hello. So this meeting of the board is held in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's businesses not to be considered a public community meeting. There is a time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in the agenda. This is not the time for debate or argument. Do not mention any student or staff names in order to permit a fair allotment of time to participants. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes. The president may extend this time to 5 minutes per person when needed. Up to a half hour is provided for public input, and direct all questions to the board president.
Go ahead, Ms.
Yeah, everyone know me, Abir Krayem. I'm here because a month ago, my son have an issue in Kinlock School, and I meet with Dr. Lazar, and we talk about the cameras because nothing shown in the cameras, and some space at the corner at the school, no cameras over there. And Dr. Lazar told me that they already ordered the cameras, but no update until today. I want to know what happened because last week, some of the students at Kinlock fall from the, what is called, playground, and they broke his hand or something happened. The parent went over there, no cameras. It's no safety, to be honest with you. Our kids, not only my kids, all the students, when they go outside to the playground, is no safety. Why? And when the boy fall down, they said nothing shown on the camera. And they have construction on the back, right? They have many people going in and out. Okay, how I'm gonna trust them? Like my kids or the student are saved. I wanna know. This is my right, to know if the kids are safe. Why until today there is no cameras, nothing? December is coming up. There are holidays, February, when? And the end of the school, they're gonna put cameras? Or they pushing like parents, or they think, well, we're not gonna come again. No, I wanna know when. I need that time. And it's not mentioned here that it's like anything. I don't know, you guys, if you know about the cameras or anything.
So thank you for bringing this point forward to us.
Okay.
At this time, it's
No, they
we
said-
appreciate you bringing this to us, but we're going to ask that Dr. Mosallam and Dr. Lazar look into this and make sure that you get an update, an answer to your question,
It's not only me, update for the whole district.
for the whole district.
Yeah, for the whole district update,
Yes.
but because Dr. Lazar, she said they already ordered it. I meet with her, and I want to see what that guy he's talking, even the guy he entered the building in Kinlock School, they show that enter, the camera show they enter, but it doesn't show where it go because it's no camera this side. Yani anyone can enter the school, can hide, you know, where's the safety? I want to know, they hire security, they paying for the security, right? And they doesn't pay like $10, $20. I know they paying way up. Where's I don't know, security for what? For no reason? Where's the cameras? Where all this? I need safety, especially at these days, to be honest with you.
Of course.
Yeah, even, I don't know. Because
Thank you.
Dr. Lazar,
Thank
she
you
said
for bringing this to us and making us
Okay.
aware. And Dr. Mosallam, I'll just ask that you follow up with Ms. Kraim and make
yeah.
sure that the district gets an answer as well as Ms. Kraim.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Kristen, did we only have the one? Yes. Okay. All right, so we'll open up the floor for board comment. Trustee Sabo.
I'd just like to reiterate what Dr. Masalam said to Trustee Janoon. This is not a going away, this is a, you'll be around and we'll be happy to have you around, I'm sure. Thank you for everything you've done over the last couple of years. I know you're still very involved with the PTO, and I just wanted to thank you for that. I wanted to wish all of the students a very safe holiday break. And we heard one of the community members talk about safety. Safety is always key for everything that we're doing. But most importantly, obviously during winter breaks and other time off, I encourage parents to please, I know we're always asking you for involvement, and but just keep these young folks safe, and let's bring them back January 9th, ready to go to finish off the school year. So that's all that I have.
Trustee Amos?
I'd also like to say thank you, Trustee Najah. I know this is not the last time we're going to see you. I mean, I see you every morning. I see you every morning at the gym, and I know you're going to be active with the kids, and you've always been since the beginning of time. So thank you for everything. Parents and students, I want to wish everybody a happy holiday. Also our teachers and all staff in the district and all the board members here as well. Wish everybody happy holidays, have a safe holiday, safe New Year's, and that's it. Thank you.
Trustee Berry?
Yes, I just have a couple of questions since I couldn't get to them in the study session. Can we start, I know that there was a parent advisory meeting that I saw in one of the reports. Can we have that stuff added to the calendar so we know when they're coming up, please? Anything within the school district that's happening in case a board member wants to attend. And then can I ask, who put this, the employee, I mean, I like that they're saying what they're doing, but who put this together? Was it each individual employee, or was it over here, it talks about the secretary, the child accounting, the student?
Trustee Berry, why don't you email your question?
Well, I just have a
and we'll
quick
make sure that we-
question. I have a
Okay.
quick question, because I couldn't ask that question, because I would have liked to ask it. Because here it says that your ESL liaison only does translation, that's it?
Under whose report was that?
Well, it's,
Under whose report?
is it, is it the principal here at this building?
Is that the Riverside
Casewell?
report?
It doesn't say Riverside, it just gives a description of everybody's job posting, and I was kind of surprised to see that out of everybody, that only the liaison had just translation. Is that all she does?
I have no idea what you're referring to.
I'm
okay,
trying to
can-
see,
can
I don't know which building
Do you want me
this
to
is
give it to
from.
you?
I'm sorry.
It's from Riverside.
Okay, stop.
That's what I was asking.
Please, Dr. Mosallam.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to ask Trustee Berry to email Dr. Mosallam her question, and then please get an answer back as soon as possible. Trustee Janu.
I'd like an answer now. I can ask those questions.
If this,
You can't stop me from talking.
It's right here.
I mean, it's my right.
They don't know what
to-
you're talking about.
Well,
Give them
I
a
can
minute
show
to
him.
review it.
I can show him. It's right here.
Trustee Janu.
He's answering my question if you don't mind.
I do mind.
Well, I'm sorry, it's my right.
Trustee Janu, finish your board comment.
I would like my question answered.
Your question will be answered,
Well,
Nadia.
he's looking at it. Let him answer
Can you
it.
give him a minute? Can Trustee Janu give her comments and we come back to it?
I'm good.
No, you're not getting off that easy.
You're gonna see me the next meeting anyway, so it doesn't, just because I'm not gonna sit here, I mean, I'm still gonna be
bringing
here.
us
so
snacks.
I might take an order before I get here, but I don't feel like I'm saying goodbye. I'm doing what I've always done anyways, and whatever support I can give, I'm still here, but thank you guys.
Thank you. Trustee Bader.
First and foremost, I mimic Mr. Sabah, Mr. Amen, Najah, for sure. Good luck and thank you for everything. I know we'll be seeing you around for sure. It is, school's letting out, so, for sure, enjoy the holiday season together. Make it a point to call someone that you haven't talked to in a long time and say hello to them. Enjoy the new year, and I'm excited to see what 2023 brings us all. That's all I have.
Trustee Fawad.
Thank you. No reason for me to reiterate what all have said. So good luck. And also have a blessed and safe, happy holiday and new year. And we'll see you guys all next year.
Thank you. Dr. Mosalam, can you answer Trustee Berry's question, or do you need?
yeah,
more
so I'm
time?
looking at this now, I'm remembering what it is. This is a document that the school office put together for staff, so they're aware of what each person's role is and how they support the teachers. If the concern is with you said the EL liaison, which is Ms. Fadia Jacobs in the building, and that it says translation. I do know that Mrs. Jacobs does work with small groups, and she works with parents when translations are needed. I'm not sure if there's, anything else. I can ask Mr. Caseball to add to that based on any other job responsibilities she has.
I would appreciate it, because if we're creating job descriptions, then we need.
That's not a job description. That's just what
Well, it
they're.
looked like it to me.
It's not a job description. That was for the board to be aware of, like each individual person in the office does. They're not job descriptions. Job descriptions come out of human resources.
Okay, well, if you read it, it looks like a job description to me, but thank
Like
you.
a daily activities
It's,
report?
it's very much similar to that, because as they try to get their systems, they want all staff to know who to go to and who deals specifically with what.
Okay, thank you. So I'll give some board comment. First of all, I'd like to wish everybody a happy holiday. I wanted to thank all of the parents and stakeholders, community members who were invited to the Parent Advisory Committee. And I got a chance to actually see the meeting, and I think we're in good shape. We have some really nice representation on the committee, and I want to commend them and thank them for their work. I also wanted to thank Zainab Beydoun, Jawad, and Huda Karazi for setting up, and Zainab ran a wonderful meeting. Dr. Mosalam participated, Dr. Lazar was there, and I just wanted to commend that work that's being done. It's nice to bring different perspectives to the table, and you feel like you're getting input from all aspects of the community rather than just one part of the community. So it was nice to see all those different people working together to try to come up with some answers. And one of the things that I heard during the committee meeting was somebody suggested that we go out to the community and ask the community what they would like to see. So not only survey ourselves and check ourselves, but have the community at large, whether you had students in the district or not, be surveyed. And I thought that that was a wonderful idea. So I commend the work that's being done there. Also, I hope everybody stays safe this holiday. Of course, We want everybody to have a wonderful vacation, and to our board, to our faculty, to our staff, to our students, you know, I just want to say, we're just a school district with some buildings, and you people are the people who breathe life into it. So I just want everybody to understand how important their role is here. So whether you're a board member sitting at this table, whether you're a parent in the audience watching at home, whether you're a teacher who comes in every morning putting a smile on her face, or if you are, you know, David and Kathy who come in on Monday evenings and have to do all this setup for our meeting and our admin team, I just wanted to say none of this works without you. You guys breathe life into this machine, and I just wanted to thank you for it.
Madam Chair? I
Trustee
forgot to
Saban.
mention the Dad's Club that, did we talk about?
Yes, the Dad's Club.
The Dad's Club where Penny was surprised you were giving everybody T-shirts and,
Yeah, we're getting sizes, we're getting sizes.
it was a great meeting. We had a bunch of fathers that came out, so look for them to be walking in the school district buildings. I look forward to it myself. I can't wait to see my kids' faces when they see me walking through Riverside. I think they're gonna duck and hide, but I don't blame them. I'd duck and hide too if I saw my pops. So, but anyway, it was a great meeting. Thank you for putting it together.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So with that, I will, happy holidays again, and take a motion to adjourn.
Madam Chair, motion to adjourn? Support.
Motion to adjourn by trustee Baydoun, supported by trustee Amen. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those signify by saying aye to adjourn the meeting at 7:49 PM.
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.